What is good, everybody? What is good, everybody's big game? James, it's my girl Star, and it's the Big Star Show. We is back again, and we loving it. We excited about it because some things happen. I'm the pessimistic content creator right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm pessimistic about every damn thing. You're gonna hear me just be mad on Twitter. I'm just be mad. I'm be hating. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pessimistic, and I got every right to be. But
That's true.
few things happen, you know what I'm saying, these last 24 hours to make my pessimism go down just a little bit. Before we get into all that, though, my gracious co-host, Miss Stargazer, how you doing today?
What's up, Big? What's up, everybody in the chat? Really appreciate you guys being here and rocking with us. Shout out to Mickey, aka Craven Cowboys, in the chat. Y'all know Mickey is my
Yes,
co-host. We do Star
yes.
Chasers Girls Talk Ball yesterday. Y'all check out the show we did yesterday because we had Jess Navarez from DallasCowboys.com. So y'all check that out. It was a great show. But shout out to you, Mickey. But y'all know what to do. You come in, like the video, share the video, subscribe to our YouTube channels if you haven't done that already.
All that good stuff, for real, because like I said, shout out to Miss Craven. She was killing it in those interviews. I really loved it. She had
Oh
Greg
yeah,
Ellis. She got Nate Newton.
Greg
She
Ellis,
was
Nate
going hard.
Newton,
Yeah,
Cooper Beebe, Brock
go Cooper
Hoffman.
beat good ones. Cooper BB good ones, like up close and personal.
Yeah, up close in person. So yeah, shout out to Craven and Landlord. All of them just really,
Yes,
did us
yes,
a favor with getting those
yeah,
interviews so that we can
yeah.
hear from the players. You know what I'm saying? Because we hear from Steven, you hear from Jerry, and you hear from the main, Dak, Micah, but you don't really get to. And if you hear from the players, but it's a different perspective when you can ask them your own questions compared to
Hmm.
listening to them answer other people's questions. So
Exactly, and it feels like you get maybe a little bit better answer, a more real answer when
yeah,
when
exactly.
you get
Less
it from other
corporate
guys.
answer.
Yeah, less corporate answer, come a little bit more realism because they know we coming from the ground up, we coming from ground zero. You feel me? And
Exactly.
they know we don't want the flugazi stuff. They know that they know we don't want the flugazi stuff, and they know the people out there want to hear the good stuff, so they gonna come real with it.
Exactly.
I'll be seeing that, so I definitely appreciate you, Craven. You've been out there killing it, like you said, Landlord, Law Nation, Jay
Yep.
Tuck, uh,
hmm
just so many.
Mark
I mean, just so
Holmes.
many.
Mark Holmes was
Mark
out there. Like,
Holmes.
shout
Mark
out to
Holmes was
everybody.
out there. Shout
hmm
out to all the content creators out there. I've been out to camp for 3 times, and the experience was like no other. So
Yeah,
I definitely appreciate all those guys because it ain't cheap, and you got to put some
it is
money
not
into it.
cheap.
And for the fact that they're going out there getting that content for the people is really awesome. So excited about that. But it's time to talk about some football now, Star, because some signings happened, a trade happened, a signing
Yes, it
happened,
did.
and it's something that we have been talking about for a long time. And some things finally happened. And the good thing about it to me was these were
hmm
actual real signings. These weren't I'm sorry, the Higgins or Huggins or whoever it is, or Muhammad or Tony, or ain't nobody getting hyped about that, okay? Nobody. So now we got legit signings. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna open the door to you, and I'm gonna kind of follow right through to you. So talk about them signings for me first, Miss Star.
Yeah, so obviously yesterday, I think the news broke when we were actually live. I was live with Mickey and Jess
Mm-hmm.
Navarez, and then we signed a defensive tackle. Now, I did not know who Jordan Phillips was. Well, I didn't think I knew, till I look online.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing highlights. I'm like, oh, that guy that terrorized us when we played the Bills last year. And then on top of that, then showing that he was the guy, because I remember that last year too, the guy that was getting in Eagles fans' face. And
Mm-hmm.
anytime we can get somebody in an Eagles fans' face, who hate the
I'm cool with
Eagles,
that. I'm
who
cool with that.
exactly
I'm
who
cool
can't
with that.
stand the Eagles or the Eagles fans as much as we do, exactly, bring them on in. So this guy's 6'6", 340 pounds. That's the first thing I looked at. I'm like, let me look him up on Pro Football Reference. Let me look up his measurables. 6'6", 341 pounds. So, obviously a big body. I don't think we've had a defensive tackle this big and I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? I would say maybe 90s, early 2000s. I know since I've been
David
covering
Irvin, David Irvin was pretty big. He wasn't 330, but David Irvin was 6'7". So we had a big one, but he wasn't no 340.
yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm like 6'6" and
Right,
340. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
we
right.
haven't had no big guy like this in a minute. So this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I know
Mm-hmm.
there's been some knocks. You know, there's some people posted on Twitter like, oh, according to this article, he's not that great of a run defender. But I'm like, well, considering that, I mean, from the film and clips that I've seen, he can defend the run. You know, you just never know why some of these players have low grades. But obviously, this guy is a second round pick, and he's huge. He's a true one tech. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what they say, you know what I'm saying? We ain't never had this. He automatically comes in and becomes the best defensive tackle we got on the roster. And so if we
Mm-hmm.
can get a couple, he's good for a couple sacks. One year he had a crazy year in 2019. I think he had like 10 sacks, but he gonna
That's
be
when I wanted him.
exactly like he crazy. So he can get you, and imagine him on this D line. I don't know who he was surrounded with when he was with the Bills or whatever, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
here he's gonna be a rotational piece with D Law, with Micah, with uh Mozzie, which I feel like
Osa.
he's also Diggy Zua. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, guys. Like, sometimes you cannot look good because of the room that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a guy where it's like you want him. Well, everybody, even Aaron Donald needed support. You know, they got Aaron Donald, then they got Sebastian Day, whatever the hell, I forgot his name, and then they added in that other guy. So it's like all good players, in order for them to really look good and be good, they need to be surrounded by good talent. And I think we have good talent on this defensive line. So I'm very excited for it. I know people said that we probably should go out and try to get at least one more defensive tackle. But I said yesterday, it's like, it's okay, Cowboys fans. We can cheer on small wins. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying, oh, we going to the Super Bowl, but it's like, it's
Right.
okay to say this was a good signing. This was a
Mm-hmm.
good trade. I'm glad that the Cowboys didn't just sit on their hands and do nothing. I'm glad that they didn't wait to the trade deadline to go and get somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that they're being proactive. So that's how I feel. I feel like it was a great trade. We didn't spend much. We only like swapped picks. So that wasn't that much. And the trade don't even go through. I saw you had reposted that big that the trade doesn't even
Mm-hmm.
go through unless he's on our team and he starts or he plays 2 games for us. So
Mm-hmm.
we gave up very little to get somebody who can heavily impact and help our defensive line. So I don't get the complaining, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, then we signed Carl Davis. Now we had thought that we were going to sign Carl Davis.
Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson. Sorry, we cut Carl Davis. Sorry, Carl
Mm-hmm.
Davis has been waived, but
Yeah, out of here.
yeah, he's out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, but Carl Lawson, we thought we were going to sign him, but we ended up signing like Alquan Muhammad and Sheikh Tony, and we waived Sheikh Tony. So, Carl Lawson is a guy where his career's really been derailed because of injuries. But healthy, I mean, he's gonna get you about 5 to 6 sacks. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine if he could. I don't remember the last time he's played a full season, and so if he's in a rotation,
2022.
Okay, he played a full season. Okay, I thought he was out for like 2021. Okay, so but regardless of that, you're now having him as a rotational piece, pairing him with dogs as well. Just my same argument like with Jordan Phillips. So, and you get to keep him healthy because I think when he was signed to the Jets, he was like their big signing. He was signed as the guy. He was there for like 4 years or whatever. And so, you know, now with us, he doesn't have to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? He just has to be a guy to help us. And I think he can do that. And I think he'll be able to stay healthy because he's not going to have to be on the field every single day.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I mean, I echoed a lot of those sentiments on my live today, Star. And basically those things. Jordan Phillips is a guy that I identified pretty much after they played the Cowboys in 2019. And, you know, the infamous, he was on the sideline doing the Zeke and everybody was hating him and mad at him. I was very perturbed and angry, but I was looking at man, we need to get this dude. You know what I'm saying? I was looking
Right.
at his stat. I just looked at him and I said, oh, he's coming up for free agency. Okay, well, he just
Mhm.
kicked our ass. Well, I want that dude on the team because we need
Exactly.
somebody who that can talk some trash, get nasty, and we need somebody who big. Because if you look, I think I remember in that game, he had a pretty good game in that game. He was really giving our offensive line the business. He was
Yep.
penetrating. He was wrecking shop in that backfield, and he was giving our line fits. And I was
Yep.
like, man, that's the type of dude we need. 6'6", 340. That's what we need. So when he came up for free agency, Boss Cowboys, me and Boss Cowboys did a show. Boss Cowboys was
Mhm.
doing his book on free agency. He had him as his number one free agent. I had already been talking about it. So before Boss had mentioned him, right?
Yep.
He said, Jet, who you looking at free agency? I said, Jordan Phillips. He said, okay, I'm pulling up my book. Bam. That's my number one player. So we like, oh, okay. We
Yeah.
feeling each other like off the muscle. Like, okay,
Yeah.
great minds thinking like you on my wavelength, big dog. He like, I'm
Exactly.
all the way there with you. Because as we
Mhm.
said before, now the only thing is, you know what Dallas does? They don't get you when you're 26. They get you when
Yeah.
you're 30. They
Exactly.
don't they going to 32, 33, 30. That's when they going to touch you. Your 26 years, you cost too much. We
Yeah.
going to wait till you about 30,
Once you
31
get
and you
that
cheaper.
29, right? Once you get 20,
Yeah,
because Carl
you
lost at
cheaper.
29, so you getting that 29,
Exactly.
then they're like, let's sign him.
Okay, we'll
29
look at
plus.
you. You
Yeah.
29, 30, we're gonna start looking at you. 26,
Uh-huh.
hell to the no, because you want more money, and we ain't doing that for you. And you an outsider, nah, we ain't doing that. So I already of assuming, but
Mhm.
even when he went over to the Cardinals, he was still very reasonable. He signed for a reasonable price, even with the Cardinals. Now,
Yep.
obviously, I feel like when you're playing for a contract, you play out of your mind. That year he played with Buffalo, he had 9.5 sacks. He had the most tackles he had in any season as a starter. And he was just wrecking shop. So that's the time I wanted Dallas to kind of build off that, because if you saw it, Mike McCarthy was just coming up, becoming the head coach.
Mhm.
Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator. You were missing spots in that defensive hole, and it was like, go get this guy. They didn't do it.
Mhm.
But I'm
Mhm.
not mad at the circle back, because remember when we talked, Star, a couple weeks ago, and you're like, Big, you ain't always got to get mad and always just be hating because they got somebody cheap. You remember that conversation? They ain't got to always spend it. Just because they cheap don't mean they good. Ain't good.
Yep.
I said,
Yep.
okay, Star, I don't believe that because Muhammad ain't doing shit. Tony,
Uh-huh.
these guys ain't doing nothing. Now, I said, you get me a guy on the cheap that's good, I'm going to shut up. So there you go. It's a shut up signing. You went and got it's a shut up signing. I'm gonna
It's a
close my
shut up
mouth
signer.
because you got a legit guy. And over there with he was over there with the Giants. But if you look at their roster, they're stacked over there as far as the defensive
Right.
line position.
They're stacked up.
They are
That's why.
stacked.
Yeah. People are like, why would they trade him? Like, because they're stacked to the high
They're
heavens, and
stacked. They want to
he's
get
not
their
gonna
young guys.
play. Right. Like they got the young guys. You got Dexter Lawrence. Like they already got their all pro disruptive defensive tackle. So it's like he was pretty much gonna be buried on the bench and come off just to like reprieve Dexter Lawrence maybe for a couple snaps, but
Exactly.
that was
Exactly.
it. So they
And it's
already
just
had their
like,
guy. Yep.
they already had their guys. It's a win-win. Cowboys don't like spending money. You flip to six for a seventh, one of those two. And like you said, when I posted, the deal isn't even finalized until he plays at least 2 games. So even then,
Right.
they're still covering tracks in this, because you remember, and I made this post as well, Star, in 2020 when Mike McCarthy became the coach, they did go out there. And if you look at the Cowboys, when they first get that first-year defensive coordinator, they will help him. They'll go out
They
there
will.
and get some people, because they
They
went
will.
out there and did
Absolutely.
it for Mike Nolan. They got Gerald McCoy. They got
Yep.
Don Poe. They went
Rose.
Clinton Dix. They got
Yep.
Andy Dalton.
Yep.
They went and they got another corner, Daryl Worley. He was decent.
Yeah.
They went and got
Daryl
Alden
Worley.
Smith. Alden
Oh
Smith
yeah.
turned up in the first part of the season. He had like
He
5
did.
sacks in the first half of the season. You know what I'm saying? He
Yep.
had been out of football for a while.
He
So
did turn
even
up
though
for us.
they weren't great. We were like, okay, that's progress because that's Gerald McCoy. Okay, that's a little progress because at least you got a Dante Poe. These guys have at least done something in the NFL significantly. You remember these guys. So that's
Yep.
what I'm saying. I'm not mad at you getting a Jordan Phillips if you ain't spending a lot of money and you got a quality player. Jordan Phillips has
Exactly.
played good in the league. He's a nasty. He nasty. Go over there and yelling at them Philly players, and he was giving the Philly people and the Philly players the business. I ain't mad at that. And he talks a
Exactly.
lot of trash in them trenches. I love a nasty guy in them trenches. We don't have that. We don't have
Exactly.
that.
We don't have that. That's what I'm saying. Like this guy comes in automatically. He's automatically your best or one of your best defensive. He's your best nose tackle, period. He's your best nose tackle.
He's your best nose
and,
tackle right now.
And you got a guy that you can kind of mentor and bring that nastiness out of Mozzie. You know what I'm saying? And that's good because it's like you have a guy the same way. Like this guy is I'm like, I don't want to say a poor man's Chris Jones, but this is a big guy with little man feet. Like that's the first thing I noticed about him. I'm like, he's huge, but he moves so fast. He does not move like he's 6'6", 41 pounds. So it's like this guy's a wrecking ball, and he's gonna that type of energy that he's gonna bring to the defensive line. He's gonna get the guys hyped up. But it's good that now we have what I think Skywalker still said, this disciplined chaos. So it's going to be chaos, but because of the coaches that we have, it's not going to be like how it was under Dan Quinn, where it's offside,
we're scheming and doing
penalties, crazy, doing stupid stuff, late hits and all that stuff. It's going to be chaos, but it's going to be controlled chaos. So I'm really excited. I'm really happy with the signs. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we can go out there and sign more. You never rest on your laurels. You know what I'm saying? You get better. But this is somebody said it in chat, but this is definitely, I think Tyrone Church, he said this is a move in the right direction. And I agree with that. This is a move in the right direction.
It's definitely a move in the right direction. And just like you said, this is actually a real signing, in my opinion. And, as I said, do I think, you signed Jordan Phillips, Dallas is going to the Super Bowl? Hell no, that's not what I said. But what I did say is now you have somebody where you don't have to feel like you can still let your first round draft pick continue to grow and not put all that pressure on him. Because even though we've seen improvement in that first preseason game, we've seen the improvement. In my opinion, it's not enough improvement to say, let's full go with this and Mozzie's ready. No, it's not. So you go out there and still get you a veteran that's legit. I'm still sad that you don't have a Jonathan Hankins, because if you had a Jonathan Hankins and a Jordan Phillips and a Mozzie, now I'm like, okay, now we're talking. So they must have some faith, in my opinion, Star, in that Higgins kid, or is it Higgins?
It's Huggins. I think they do because
Huggins. They must like him because you push a staff member and you still on the squad.
Exactly. They like him. That when Mike said today, oh yeah, he apologized, it's fine. Like I was like, oh, they
and
like him.
You waived Carl Davis, so you gotta like him. If you waive Carl Davis, you kept him, he pushed a Stafford, they like you. And they still got the Justin Rogers kid, right? So they must feel good about him. Yep. They must feel good about him, right? So my thinking is he is a veteran, the Huggins guy. So, and he's not small, and he could rotate from the 1 to the 3. So that's what I'll look at. But now you got the big men in place that can help Mozzie. And when you got the Jordan Phillips, this helps Osa Ogadazua because too many times he gets the double team. Too many times he's getting stopped. Now let's put somebody else in there to free up Osa.
Exactly.
Osa now can attack that quarterback what we want, and Osa can get sacks.
Yeah, he can. Osa can definitely get sacks for sure. And it's like I think that they're gonna use Huggins because Huggins, the way that it looked like on the versus the Rams, they were double teaming Huggins and they were leaving Mozzie one-on-one. So I think that they're trying to do it to where, okay, let's get somebody bigger. We'll have you double team him, right? Like try to double team Jordan Phillips. And then now we got Osa next to him one-on-one. Now we got Mozzie one-on-one. Now we got Huggins one-on-one. So, and I'm sure Mike Zimmer, he's a master, so he's going to mix it up. Now you get double team. Now you one-on-one because what's his name? What's the guy with the defensive tackle? What's his name? Oh, Jordan Phillips.
Jordan Phillips.
He's a force one-on-one. So I'm sure Zimmer's he's gonna mix it up. And
Zimmer know what the hell to do with that.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to do with that. He knows exactly what to do with these guys. And so, I mean, I don't know, guys. I like I said, I think we can add another piece, because you can never have too many defensive tackles. And I'm sure there's gonna be some more defensive tackles that might get cut or something like this, like that are in deep rooms. Go ahead and grab them, and just have these guys stacked up. You know what I'm saying? Because
stacked up and ready.
stack them up. You
And
need the depth.
and here's the thing: we talked about it before. Mike Zimmer, he ain't Dan Quinn. Mike Zimmer ain't playing that you running on us all game.
Right.
That's not what's going to happen with Mike
That's not
Zimmer.
it.
Grandpa,
Right.
Grandpa Zimmer is not letting that happen. No, and and this is what I want to throw this out to you, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Sky. Star. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I was saying that when Dan Quinn came in, he was an orphan. He was an outsider.
Right.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why they didn't continue to supply him with all that.
Yeah.
Now you got a man on a 1-year deal in Mike Zimmer, right?
You go and get Jordan Phillips.
You're gonna go get you go get Jordan Phillips, but I feel like Zimmer's not an outsider. He's been with the Cowboys.
Right.
He's been with this program. He has the familiarity. So I feel like they'll be more apt to help him get you what you need because you've already been with us. You've been with us Super Bowl years. We know about you. And that to that point, look at Jason Garrett and the loyalty they have for him. Why? Because he had been in the building for so long and they stayed loyal to him. This is where I feel like there'll be a little bit more loyalty and maybe go out a little bit more for Zimmer because we know about you. We trust you. We know you're with us.
Yep. It definitely seems like they did that with Zimmer because they didn't get Dan Quinn, Bobby Wagner, but they go and get Eric Kendrick for Mike Zimmer. You know, they got Dan Quinn.
They traded a corner.
Right. Traded a corner to get a better corner. Then they go out and get they got Dan Quinn, Jonathan Hankins, which y'all know I'm not taking a crap on Jonathan Hankins. He's a good one tech, but Jonathan Hankins is he's different than Jordan Phillips. Like Jordan Phillips to me is a different type of animal.
They're two different players.
They're totally different players. So it's like, look at the guys that they're going out and getting for Zimmer, and then you compare them to the guys that they went out and got for Dan Quinn. And honestly, they could have just been turned off by Dan Quinn because they let Dan Quinn control pretty much the first draft. It was all defensive players. And then when you look at that draft, it's like, it wasn't too good. You know, we got Mike.
It was bad. It was one of the worst. It was with Mike, and that's it. And Osa.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like they probably, and then remember we got Keanu Neal and we got, I forgot the other guy, but I think they were like, yeah, like we got you, your guys, and it's not really working out. So we're like, they probably just started to not favor him as much as we thought. Because I think a lot of fans still thought that like, oh, he's, you know, they'll replace him with or replace Mike with him. But I think maybe the front office started to view him a little bit different going down the stretch.
Right. I can agree with that as well. I just feel like there's just more loyalty. You know, when we're looking at it, this feels like there's more loyalty to it. And I'm sure Zimmer's telling them, okay, look, y'all want me to do this, and this with the defense. I'm on a 1-year deal. What magic you think I'm going to make on a 1-year deal? What kind of magic you think I'm going to make on a 1-year deal? And you're not giving me the adequate stuff you want me to make these groceries, but you ain't giving me the type of groceries I need to really cook. And so, hey, I feel like they came in and did that with Zimmer because to me, Zimmer is a better defensive coach than Dan Quinn because Zimmer left Dallas and went to Cincinnati, and Zimmer made that Cincinnati defense very good. The reason why they had a top 10 defense for many years under Zimmer. Factual. Had a top 10 defense. And the reason why those Bengals were going to playoffs wasn't just because of no sorry ass Andy Dalton. They had a good ass defense to protect him.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
They had a good defense. Exactly. I just feel like Zimmer obviously has the pedigree. Like I build defenses, you know what I'm saying? Even when he was with the Vikings, they made it all the way up to the NFC Championship.
Yes.
They had to beat the Packers to get to the NFC Championship, I think. And their quarterback was Casey Keenum. So, like Mike Zimmer is, he's legit. He may be old, but he knows what he's doing. Mickey had asked a question. She said, "What do we think they think about Daxon?" I really don't know. They don't really talk about him as much, so I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think he's a practice squad guy.
Yeah, I think they'll
He
probably
got some
put
good
him.
size.
He got decent size, and they have him as listed on the depth chart as a 3 tech behind Osa because he is a little bit smaller like Osa. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They may put him on the practice squad, or they may just make the 53, but just at the bottom. I'm not sure, but I'm
He
sure
ain't making no. He ain't making no
they're gonna
53. He going.
they're gonna
He going
take
to the practice
Justin
squad.
Rogers. Yeah, he's like going to practice because they'll take Justin Rogers for sure over him. And they said who should play. Yeah, I agree. I feel like I've been convinced that it's like, yeah, just go ahead and let Trey Lance play. At this point,
JJ
because
McCarthy's hurt. Let's try to trade. Now, see, Sky, I'm going to tell you. I mean, I'm going to keep on telling you, Sky. That name is just in my head right now.
it's
Star, I
okay.
apologize. But Star, in my head, we've been going back and forth on the Trey Lance thing. And you like, oh, you hating on Cooper Rush. I'm really not. But I'm like, hey, man, you got to see what this dude is. Like, we know what Cooper Rush is. I don't need to see nothing from Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush done proved that I know what you are, Cooper Rush. You ain't going to do nothing in that game, Cooper Rush, with the ones, with the twos, with the threes, with the 10s, with the 12s. You're going to look the same every time. I don't know what Trey Lance is going to look like because I've seen things. But now, J.J. McCarthy's hurt. Minnesota was already talking about possibly getting Trey Lance and trading. So guess what? Start Trey Lance, play him all daggone game. And if he turns up and Minnesota's like, okay, let's make it happen. Get some more picks. And then, you know what you need to do? I know people keep on saying, and that ain't gonna happen. But I say picks and players change things, man. Well, you said it too, Star. Jonathan Allen. I don't care. I ain't letting it go. I ain't letting that Jonathan Allen
Yeah,
thing go
right,
because it can happen. You got picks available. You got players that are available that won't hurt you like, oh, the team is over if you get rid of that. And
right.
Rome
We
brought it
got
up, and you
yep,
had already talked about it. That safety room is filled up. You got picks. This man is on the end of his contract life. He's 29, 30 years, and he's still a high-quality player. I know you can get about 3-4 years good out of him. He's that
yep.
good, and we love his attitude. Man, what? I'm still out there trying to wheel and deal and say we ain't done yet because just say you went crazy. Just say you went crazy, okay? Let's just say you went crazy. You gonna tell me if you woke up in the morning and they say, okay, we traded Donovan Wilson or we traded, maybe even a Marquise Bell up and coming guy and a third rounder and Jonathan Allen's coming in the building. You got Jordan Phillips and you got Mozzie. You ain't gonna tell me y'all ain't gonna, man, Cowboy Nation would be nuts.
Cowboys Nation would freak out if they woke up and saw
They would be nuts.
that we signed Jonathan Allen. It would. We want to get fan base to buy in fully. Like, you go ahead and get Jonathan Allen, and I agree. I think there's positions that we're loaded up on, safety particularly, that we can trade. You know what I'm saying? We can get rid of them. There's positions that like we can spare a guy here and there. So it's like, why not go ahead and get it done? Y'all said in the draft, like, we've been having talks with Washington, so let's see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it. I wouldn't even be mad now. I prefer, of course, Jonathan Allen, but if you would like to trade us John Ridgeway back, I would be fine with that too. Like, John Ridgeway is now going into year 3. He's a different animal. You know what I'm saying? So I think, we got to continue to build. But of course, I said it. I think we should 100% go after Jonathan Allen. I said this in April because he is tired of the Commanders. He's expressed that, like, I don't want to be, almost like a Matthew Judon who's like, they don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? He is older, so he's right in the Cowboys window. I'm 29. I'm 30 years old. Like, go ahead and get this guy. I'm sure he was probably at the top of the Cowboys draft list too. And they love to get those guys that they have value.
I drink that Kool-Aid too.
Right.
I already told him I'm sipping.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. If we get Jonathan Allen, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and sip the Kool-Aid because that's just huge. That's huge, and that's gonna. And I feel like that would put a little bit of fear into the NFC because people they know that you cannot beat us through the air, but they the good offensive coordinators like, that's okay. We'll just run the ball down y'all's throats because y'all can't defend the run. What happens when teams can't run the ball on us all day? Like, just think about that. Like, that's what teams have done these past years, especially since Dak's been here. Oh, we can't pass. We're just gonna run the ball on y'all all day. Good luck.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
when
I'm
they
saying?
decide, and when they decide they're going to do it, they do it. It's the thing is, we Dallas don't really stop the run. It's just teams go away from it. When teams
Right.
go
Teams
away
go
from the
away
run
from it.
and they don't consistently stay with it. But when teams are bullheaded and they say, "Nah, we just gonna run on y'all all game," they do it. We don't.
Exactly.
Dallas don't be stopping it, and that's what we
Exactly.
got to stop. Yeah, Rev. Star is the Kool-Aid shaker. She shakes the packets. But if we got Jonathan Allen, she could shake the packet. I'm ripping that top off of that mud sucker and I'm pouring it in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen, I will pour it in because I will have a full celebration if we sign Jonathan Allen. Like, I think that is that's just a different type of signing. Jordan Phillips is a different type of signing for us, but pairing him with Jonathan Allen and Mozzie, like, just
Now you feel like your
and
team is
Osa
being serious.
and
Now you feel
Osa,
like your team is being
exactly,
serious. Now you
exactly,
feel
like,
like your team is being serious.
exactly. You feel like we're taking it seriously. We're not. Oh, we'll wait. It's okay. But we just like our guys. We'll just use our guys. And I'm liking the change from Steven, Will McClay, Jerry, because especially Steven, because Jerry is known to do, these types of moves in the past, but Steven has been the guy. And I listened to your show yesterday with Mike White about, how Steven has not necessarily had the best relationship with GMs around
Mm-hmm.
the league. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how we've been able to pull off these trades recently, I'm like, maybe Steven is kind of building back these bridges. I don't know, because in a lot of these trades, besides the trade Lance, but Steven didn't do that. That was Jerry. But but these recent trades that Steven has made, we're getting great value for very cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate that from Steven. Steven, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Continue to help us build the roster so that we're not going into the playoffs with regrets. And that's what it seems like
Yeah.
it's always happening. We're going to the playoffs with regrets because it's like, we knew that was an issue, but we didn't have enough to fix it.
I ain't feeling Steven. I ain't feeling them. I'm gonna give them props because they did this, but I ain't feeling no Steven Jones, and I ain't feeling Jerry. I ain't feeling neither one of you two, for real, for real. Because y'all still play goofy games. You're still playing goofy games with. I don't care. You're playing the games with Dak. I don't care what you've been saying. It's just too long. Like, it ain't
I
about the
agree.
money. Like I was talking about. It ain't about the money. Y'all already know y'all got to pay these players. Every team knows they have to play players. Why? The
Yeah,
whole point is why wait? Why always wait to the last minute? Why always do these last minute things? It just
I
makes
agree
you
with
feel
that.
like, well, are you really serious? Are you really serious? Because if you're really serious and you're really serious about your guy, I don't want to hear we want Dak. We want to sign Dak. We want, because when I hear we want, that leaves a door open that, well, we want to, we do our part, but he didn't sign. So hey, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear this is our dude. He ain't going nowhere. This is our dude. We are signing him. That's it. Nothing else. Next question. That's why
I
I don't
agree.
want to ever hear. I don't want to hear any doubt from the Dallas Cowboys about their top players. Don't play that game, and it's unnecessary. And that's why I think a lot of us fans are at now. Don't stop with the unnecessary stuff. You don't have
I
to
agree
do
with
it.
that.
Otherwise,
I agree with
you like your players, then leave it at that. You don't. And I just get tired of Mita always talking to these dudes every day. For what? What do we always have to hear from Steven and Jerry Jones? What do we have to hear from them? We don't have to hear from them. And the fact that they're always in the media, that just bothers me, because you don't have to be in the media. We don't have to hear what you're saying. Anything you're saying is not any significance to us, because Jerry just rambles. Nobody even needs to hear you anymore. So why do they continue to do it? I think that's the frustration of long Cowboys land. We know you got a good team, but do we feel like you do everything to keep this team at the highest level? I think that's where a lot of us question, and it needs to just be better. Now, one thing I will give Steven, this is the one thing I will give Steven.
Mm-hmm.
At least he tells you what it is. Like, when you ask
Yep,
Steven questions, he don't shuck and jive like Jerry. He don't shuck and jive and say all
that's
the
true.
dumb rambling stuff. Steven will tell you to your face, This is what it is. This is what we're
Yep.
doing. This is
Yep.
what it is. And that's it. That's the
Yep.
bottom line. I will say I can deal with that with him because at
I
least
agree
I
with it.
know what you, I know what I can deal with somebody. I might not like you, but at least you tell me straight to my face what it is,
What
or I don't
it
like
is.
you neither.
Yeah.
I'm cool
Right.
with that. I'm cool with that because we
Yeah.
have an understanding and there ain't no hidden areas. There's no gray areas. You don't like me, I don't like you. We, at least we have understanding. We may end up liking each other, being cool later because at least we open with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one
Yep.
thing I will give Steven. When he
I agree
says
with
what
that.
it is what it is.
Yep. I agree with that totally. And by all means, like Jerry and Steven, these contracts, I'm still of the mind. Like, if you go into this season and you don't sign CD and you don't sign Dak, like you
That's
cannot
goofy.
expect you cannot expect the fan base to fully buy in. That's why I feel like they're gonna do it. I feel like what they're doing
They
is
have to.
they're slowly building it up. It's like, okay, because I think Carl Lawson knew when we signed Sheikha Tony and Alquan Mohammed, he knew he was gonna get signed because he still put the
He
star, but
posted the
everybody
star. Yeah,
right. So
mm-hmm.
it's like I think Steven and Jerry, they're playing the media game, and you are right. Like the reason why I can't stand Jerry because Jerry does shit just for clicks and views. He is the
Yes.
king of headlines. He is the king of clicks and views. You don't hear that from Steven. Steven, he's just gonna tell you straight up, this is how it is. Now you may not agree with Steven's theories, or you may not agree with how he sees it, but he's gonna come flat out and tell you, like, this is how I see it, this is why we're doing this, yada 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 yada. So, that's the difference. I don't think that. So, the front office is still not off the hook. They need to go ahead and get these deals signed. I'm
Yeah, they
glad
have
that
to.
I'm glad they keep saying, it's great. Dad came out today and said, he's like, things are going very good, very positive. He was like, they were like, did they tell you, did your agent contact you every day? He's like, no, they just contact me when something really good happens. So they contacted him. So he's like, things are going good. So, but I'm like, that's great. I'm glad to hear things go great. But it's like, we just want to wake up and see the notification, breaking news. Dak Prescott, CD Lamb has been signed so that we can move on. Right. And we can move on and focus on the season. But those contracts is just a looming thing. And I'm like, I hope Jerry and Stephen, like, do y'all think we want to live with the whole season of that looming over our heads? No, doesn't nobody want to live with that because it's going to be hard to get up for stuff because you're still going to be in the back of your mind. Yeah, but this don't matter because this is the last time, it's the last time we're going to have him anyway. We're probably going to trade CD. It's like you're still, the fans are not going to be able to fully get up if you don't sign these guys. This just makes no sense. Like,
I agree.
Somebody said they're still, they are players. These players that we signed recently are quality, but they were still cheap. So it's like you didn't really sign no huge big names. So go ahead and sign our guys. Because if you don't sign our guys, it's like, what are y'all doing? If you're not gonna sign our, like, it don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense. So I agree with you there. I'm definitely not saying drink the Kool-Aid on the front office at all because no.
Yeah, they still need to be better in a lot of facets, and I'm just not jumping on their train just because Jordan Phillips got picked up and Carl Lawson. And I'm gonna talk about Carl Lawson right quick because I'm bouncing off of you when you were talking about Carl Lawson. He was an injured guy, but he had an effective career over there, and I think he played under Mike Zimmer over there at Cincinnati for a few years. And Mike Zimmer got the best out of him. And also, just like you said, soon as they brought Carl Lawson in, my first thought was Dante Fowler. That felt like because the way they use Fowler in those I wanted more from Fowler as far as snaps, but it was almost like perfect snaps how they were giving him because when he came in, he was effective. Because remember, Dante Fowler had injuries over at Atlanta. Dante Fowler had injuries, Rams, Jaguars. That's one of the reasons why he kind of got bounced around was because of his injuries. He comes over to Dallas. He doesn't have to play 40 snaps, 50 snaps in a game. Right. So less injuries. And now when I get in there, I'm productive because when I get in there 20 snaps, boom, 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 I'm in there. And you can see the effectiveness of Fowler and you didn't see the injuries. So I think that this happens with Carl Lawson. He doesn't have to worry about the injuries because he's not playing those significant snaps. You even said it yourself. When he signed with the Jets, he was signed with the Jets to be the guy. So if you're going to be the guy, you're going to get a hell of snaps. Well, you're not going to be the guy in Dallas. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Micah Parsons. You got Marshawn Nealon, who's looking really good as a young rookie. We think he can do some things. But at the
Right.
day, you can be a good rotational piece. And the biggest thing is you're a legit threat coming off the edge. You are a
Right.
legit threat coming off the edge. So what does that do? That allows Micah not to always stay on that edge. That allows Micah to move around,
Move
and then
around.
you can't get a beat on him, because remember, when Fowler and them would come in the game, you would really see those type of things with Micah. You could see you can move Micah around out that. And I'm gonna let you play this right now. I think it's getting ready to come up. You gonna show this?
Yeah, I was trying to show this just to show, but it looked like it kind of cut the screen off. But anyway, y'all can see that like his last full season was 2022. I mean, he had 9 tackles for loss, 24 QB hits, and I think you can't see it. I don't know if I can move my screen so that you can see it, but he also no, I ain't gonna let me do it. But he
He
also
started 17 games. That's all I cared about.
yeah, he started 17 games. He played all 17 games. He had 7 sacks. He's had 1 forced fumble, a fumble return, 7 sacks, 33
Mhm.
tackles, 18 solos, 9 tackles for loss, and 24 QB hits. So, these are guys where this is nothing to sneeze at. And I wanted to show like these guys, he's only been on 2 teams. And I think it's important for
Mhm.
Jordan Davis too. Jordan Davis had only been on 2 teams as well. So these are guys of value. These are guys that teams value. They haven't just been tossed around, to and fro like you made fun of Albert
And
Huggins.
Jordan Phillips went back to Buffalo. He
Right,
was with Buffalo, went to Arizona, went back to Buffalo.
exactly, went back to Buffalo. So these are guys that have been they've been valued by their teams. They haven't been passed around, like the new HOE on the street. Yeah, because he went from Miami. He was drafted by Miami, and then he's primarily just been with Miami and Buffalo, and then he did that one. No, then he did 2 years with Arizona. So everywhere he ain't just doing 1 year deals, 1 year deals. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely
Mhm.
got players of value. You know what I'm saying? Not anything. And what's up to the Big Time Show? Salute to you, Big Time.
Salutes.
Y'all go subscribe to the Big Time Show. Love his content, but
Mhm.
yeah, somebody said better than Sam Williams. Yeah, like this is a guy in a rotation. He's gonna be able to help you. And the thing that's different between Mike Zimmer and Dan Quinn as well is playing time, because I think it was with me, boss, and landlord. Like Dan Quinn was playing Sam Williams only getting 20% of the snaps. Dante
Exactly.
Fowler,
Exactly.
like he wasn't really playing these guys. Osa
He had his favorites.
right. Osa, our starting defensive tackle, only had like 35% of the snaps. So it's like these guys, Dan Quinn wasn't really playing these guys. So we're like, well, where's the impact? Well, they barely on the field. So now you'll have
Mhm.
Mike Zimmer, who is gonna give these guys more opportunities to actually make plays. And so I just think I think both of them are good quality signings.
Yeah.
Again, continue to add, but this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely a step on the right direction. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm more excited with Grandpa Zim than Dan Quinn. I'm gonna
Right,
say it once
right.
again. Me and Boss did a show when they were thinking about getting Dan Quinn. I'm gonna find that video, matter of fact, and I'm just gonna play it, so everybody can see. Me and Boss was like, he's soft. We was calling Dan Quinn soft before Dallas even hired him. We were saying, we already know the reason why they're picking up Dan Quinn, because he was with the Legion of Boom. He's a name. That's
Mhm.
why he's gonna come over and change. That's the only reason why they went and got him. He was with the Legion of Boom. But we were looking at it like, that wasn't your defense. That was Gus Bradley's defense. And you wasn't picking and drafting them players. You were living off what Gus Bradley did. And as soon as Gus Bradley left, you didn't last too long over there with the Legion of Boom, and they weren't turning up with you all like that. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it was like, and then you Atlanta, you just fizzled. You just wasn't you weren't strong. It wasn't like it just they weren't a tough nosed team. Atlanta was not a tough nosed team to me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah, they
I
weren't.
always thought about that. But when I think of Mike Zimmer is
Mhm.
tough nosed. Mike Zimmer don't
Yeah,
play that.
at
He
all.
don't play that. And
Exactly.
guess what? Yeah, he might have some favorites, but he gonna tell you, bro, you might be my favorite. But you mess up 2 3 times, you're gonna sit. I don't care who you
Right.
are. That
Right.
is Mike Zimmer for real. Like that's what he really is. And
Exactly.
that's the coach that I want. That's the defensive coach I want. Somebody who ain't playing favorites, who gonna put the best product on the field, and is somebody who is I'm stopping the run. I don't care nothing else. Y'all not gonna
Right.
run on us. I don't give a hell what you do. You're
Exactly.
not gonna do it. And you come off that field and you ain't doing it, I'm gonna chew your ass out. And you gonna sit your ass down. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
That's what Dallas
It's
needs on that
it's
defensive
tough.
side and in that building.
Yep. Exactly. It's just hard, tough coaching, and it's been too lax. You know what I'm saying? With Dan Quinn, you were too lax. The players were too comfortable with you. You know, you are uncle, you are this. You know, they respected you as a man, but they didn't fear you. They didn't
Right,
fear or revere you as a coach. And it was
right.
clear. It was clear that they did not. They liked you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But do they revere you? Do they respect you? Were you challenging these players? Were you trying to
Right.
make them better? And then I don't think you can say that he was challenging them. He was trying to make them better, because now you hear them talk about how Zim and Paul Gunther's helped them. And these players it's like they were starving for knowledge. And now they're like, yeah, I just know so much, and this, if you do this, and this means this. Like, Mike Zimmer's actually teaching these guys. And so it looks like these guys want to be great, because good players, and Mike Zimmer says it himself, he's like, good players want to be challenged. Good players want to be coached. There's no
Hmm.
player that just wants to say, oh, like a Micah Parsons, oh, I'm all pro 3 years in a row. That's good enough. No, that's not good enough. Like, you need to get better. Even when he first came here talking about D Law, they're like, how you going to help D Law? He's a 10-year vet. He's like, we're going to refine his technique, because there's always something you could be working on. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the league or your accolades. Like, you could always be getting better. And it seems like that's what Mike Zimmer and Paul Gunther is requiring out of these players, because to me they're playing like that.
Red
Which is
Rebel, see, one of the those big rage post games. Yeah, we're gonna see, because I'm still kind of pessimistic. So when I have that super positivity and I feel like I'm in it, all the way in it, and then they do
yeah,
dumb stuff, rants are coming. Rants
yeah.
are coming. Rants are coming. Rants are
Reds are
coming.
tough.
I don't know what the rants are gonna be, because I'm still hella pessimistic. So I just been turning up, talking trash. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the rants might not be. But dog, if we play a game and we should have won that damn game, and a team come back, yeah, or like a Philly, yeah, you're gonna probably hear some. Yeah, you probably gonna hear some rants. You probably
Yeah.
are. You probably gonna hear some rants. I'm probably gonna be cursing, all that stuff. So get ready for them. I'm probably gonna do at least one. I apologize ahead of time. I'm gonna be a lot of cussing. It's gonna be a lot of bad things I'm gonna say. So please forgive me ahead of time, because I'm gonna be very, very, very bad. But let's talk about a few things,
Yep.
Star,
Hmm.
especially some excitement about this right here.
Yep.
This offensive line. This mother sucking offensive line. If I
Oh man.
told you I ain't talking about no other position, I just got the goosebumps. This offensive line, because I like the trenches. I like the trenches. The trenches is
Hmm.
where you win. You got the trenches
Hmm.
on both sides of the build. You always gonna have a chance to win the damn game with them
Hmm.
trenches. And when I'm seeing your guy, Mr. Cooper Beebe,
Hmm.
continue to take them snaps and manhandling and Tyler Guyton, they just look like poetry in motion. You feel me? We know with Tyler Smith that it's looking like poetry in motion. I'm seeing the holes that were open in them joint practices against them Rams. Boy, just tell me about that. But first, I want to say Jared Verse is a dog. Okay, Jared Verse is gonna be
Yeah.
a dog over them Rams. That is a
Hmm.
great. Oh, I just love watching him and Tyler Guyton go at it. Dog, that's like that I can't explain it. That is a matchup, and they
Yep.
talking trash back and forth to each other.
Right.
That's that's some good stuff over there. Talk about that. Talk
It
about the O line, Star.
Yeah, I think you said it big. You said that the O line you feel like is the deepest, and we did take some hits to some tackles, but I mean, Earl Bostic was going to be on the practice squad, but Chuma I think was going to make the team. But Earl Bostic is
Yeah,
like, that's not really that concerning. But even so, and I don't think he's going to be out for the whole year. But he did have to get surgery, so I don't know. But anyway, The offensive line, like, it's incredible. And, I was going to bat for Cooper Beebe because there's a lot of people that were saying, like, he's not ready. Just let Brock Hoffman play. He's not really a center. Blah, 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 blah. Let him sit on the bench. Blah. He can just replace Zach Martin whenever he's ready to retire. All of this BS. And I was like, nah, man. Like, you don't sit players. I can't tell it. Like, he was the most pro-ready guard coming out. Like, you don't sit a player like that. You figure out how to get him on the field, because when you sit out players like that, then you now have them a year behind. Like, you don't need to have him on the bench a whole year behind Brock Hoffman. Like, be for real, be serious. Like, be serious. That doesn't make any sense. And people were, well, he's got to get the snaps down first. And I'm like, okay. I was like, let's see. I kept telling people, let's see this preseason game. We'll see if his snaps are an issue. And were they an issue? No, they were not. Was he getting pushed? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Was he distributing?
Are you pushing him back? No.
No, you're not. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And you can see with our young guys, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, the push in the middle is going to be insane. And we haven't had push like that since 2016? So you have to think about that. Like, that's what I kept trying to tell people. Like, being a center, guys, is more than snapping the football. Yes, snapping the football is, of course, it's ultimately important. But how about pushing the pocket? How about getting push off the ball? How about pancaking people, getting down blocks? Like, all of that is essential to us being getting out in space. We saw great clips of Cooper Beebe out in space, targeting people, knocking them down, just like we saw in college. Brock Hoffman, great guy, great leader, but he struggles in space. It's not just me. John Owen and everybody else has pointed it out too. He is not great in space. He cannot move in space very well. So there was knocks on Brock Hoffman that people weren't bringing up because they were just too focused on, Cooper Beebe, he's having some high snaps in team drill. But I'm just glad that they got that resolved, and Cooper Beebe is going to continue to build. Tyler Guyton, I just don't think we could ask for him to really be any better. It's going to be interesting how he plays versus Myles Garrett, who's a defensive player of the year. But to see him versus a young dog and Jared Verse was top 3 pass rusher coming out of the draft.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. He's an animal. And to see him and Tyler Guyton go back and forth, to see that, that dog and Tyler Guyton, screaming in his face, letting him know, yeah, I got you. And then just going back and forth and him pancaking and slamming him to the ground. I think one time he was on the ground for a long time. Like, Tyler Guyton they were getting after it. And that's why I would say right after the 2022 game, I said, we need, right after the 2022 loss versus the 49ers, I said, we need to get younger. Like, we need to get younger. We still got Zach Martin here. He's still holding on. That's fine. But Tyron Smith, I'm like, he's got to go. This he's a liability in the run game. He's great pass blocker when he's healthy, all pro Hall of Famer, but you don't want him on the ground. And we need guys that can maul people. We need guys that can push off the ball. You know what I'm saying? We weren't going to get that.
He can't move anymore.
He can't move anymore. We couldn't get pushed with guys like Connor Williams, Connor McGovern, Tyler Biotis. It's like, this is not going to work. We need a young, strong Bulls. And that's what we've been doing. You got one in Tyler Smith. You got one in Cooper Beebe. You got one in Tyler Guyton. You got Terrence Steele. Hopefully he returns back to form, which it looks like he likely is. So now you're talking about one of the meanest, like, mauling offensive lines in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I really do think that these guys, they work so hard, and that's the difference between them and all these other, drafted guys that were drafted high. Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton's work ethic, I think, is just unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tyler Guyton started working out with Duke the day after he got drafted. Beebe was already working with Duke. He had been working with Duke all throughout college and teaching classes for Duke on the O-line mastermind. So these are like teach tape guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's phenomenal. I'm very excited about the offensive line. And then not to mention, the depth. It's good that you have a Brock Hoffman that can come in and help you.
TJ Bass.
You have a TJ Bass. Exactly. Like, we're pretty deep, guys. And I think we should, if there's one thing our front office can do, it is draft offensive linemen. Yes, Duke Manyweather helps because he's right across the street. But we got the guys that want to get better. And so we do have to give them some kudos too, because yes, Duke Manyweather is the one training them, but these guys are the guys that want to get better, and they're the ones who made the sacrifice to train financially, physically, all that stuff to train with Duke. So very excited about our young guys. You know what I'm saying? Very fired up about our young offensive line.
Yeah, and the thing I love about this offensive line, just in my opinion, I feel like this young offensive line, they want to prove something. In my opinion, I feel like they want to
Right.
be
They want
talked
to prove
about,
something.
and they want to
Yeah.
talk. They want to be talked about as far as this is the great line now. This is the top line in the NFL. I think they want that. I just sense it. Just talking to Cooper Beebe's dad and just really getting the background on BB,
Mhm.
I that they football. Their life is football.
Their
Everything football, football,
football.
football, football.
Right.
Like he's a sponge with that. And then Tyler Guyton coming in, having that same type of energy, and then Tyler Smith the same way. Like he took the pride the same way. And now he's like one of the old guys on the line now, and he's still
Yep.
super young. So
He's
you
super
see the
young.
potential. And if you really get that offensive line, because it hasn't been a physical offensive line in a very long time, it's been a lot of years since we've been a physical downhill team
A
where,
lot.
and I
Yeah.
remember listening to Schottenheimer last year
Mm-hmm.
specifically say, we want to be able to run the ball when you know we're going to
We're
run,
gonna run the
when we
ball.
know we're going to run,
Right.
and you're not stopping it. That's what he said
Exactly.
in the interview. We want to run the ball whether everybody in the whole stadium knows we're going to run. We're still going to do it, and we're going to be effective, and we're going to get those yards. He said that's what we want. So with that in mind, they went out and got the players to really morph into that philosophy of what kind of game plan we want to have here. We got to get those type of
Mhm.
players to be able to execute what we want to do. And in this particular draft, I really feel like they did that on both sides of the ball with
Mhm.
Carson,
Yep.
Marshawn Nealon,
Yep.
on the defensive side of the ball, and then on the offensive
Maris.
side of the ball, Maris,
Yep.
your linebacker. You address the things that were weaknesses for the
Rubber
team.
weaknesses.
You address
Mhm.
those. So now it's time to really just take it to another level. And we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. I ain't
Yep.
drinking no Kool-Aid on none of that, but
Right.
we're
We
gonna
gotta
see.
see.
I will say
Right.
we'll go see, but I will say I appreciate the steps of these direction. Go if you're gonna be cheap, go give me some real good. Give me a real player on cheap. Okay, use that
Exactly.
mouthpiece, move that mouthpiece, get him because you can do it. Because we've seen plenty of teams in this NFL where they can really, damn, they fleeced that team. Damn, they got all that for this. We've seen it before. So if you ain't gonna spend no damn money, then get a quality player. I'll shut the hell
Exactly.
up. Those are shut up signings. I'm shutting up for right now. I'm sitting there
Mhm.
watching and I'm being quiet. So as we kind of get ready to close here, Star, let's talk about this game against this Raiders. And what do you want to see? What do you want to see on offense from this team in this game against the Raiders? Whether it be player, scheme, whatever.
Yeah. So, obviously I'm gonna be watching Trey again. He looked like he had a better practice today. I'm not sure, but I mean it looked like he was hitting some guys. I think, what I want to see from Trey Lance is I want to see him score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Trey, that's not high, because this is what I'm saying. Cooper Rush, he averaged about a touchdown a game. So the bar is not high. It's not high at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to see you, Trey, read the field tape, because Boss Cowboy broke it down. Trey, there was a lot of one play touchdowns. I watched
Mm-hmm.
QB School, JT O'Sullivan break it down. He's like, I'm not even sure Trey Lance understands the purpose of these plays, because why is he throwing the ball there? This play is for this guy and he's wide open, and Trey Lance is throwing it over here. So hopefully Mike and them went over with him like, hey, let's go rehash these plays. I'm going to call it again next. I'm going to call it again on Saturday. You should know my read. He should know his reads, because it looked like, oh, y'all asking him to read. No, there was a lot of plays where they were like, one read. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they called that game to help him. So I want to see Trey Lance. You learn. I want to see growth. I want to see you saying, okay, you know what? I did my homework this week. go and score a touchdown. Like I said, I don't need you to light it up. If you light it up, that's great. But if I can just see some improvement, if I can see the accuracy, I'm not sure how much you can improve on that. I feel like with the throw motion and stuff, I just feel like that's something you got to kind of fix on the off season. So I feel like that's kind of like what it is, but you could at least read the field better, because I know you can hit. You may miss some passes, but I know you can hit some passes too. We saw that on film. You can hit some passes. So
just let the ball go. Stop holding the damn ball and throw. Just throw it. Just throw the ball. It's just like
You have
throw the
nothing to
damn
lose.
ball. You ain't got nothing to lose. You're given every opportunity. Just go out there and play and stop thinking so damn much and just make plays. You get what I'm saying? Just let your abilities. I still feel like he's just thinking too much, like not trying to make the mistake, not trying to make the mistake. Like, I don't want to make a mistake, bro. I remember listening to John Kitna. And I love what he came in and did for Dak for that 1 year. I still wish he could have stayed, but I love what he did for that Dak that 1 year, because Dak turned up under John Kitna. But one of the things John Kitna said, that when he was quarterback, he was Mike Martz was his coordinator, and was like, he said, man, the ball's right there, but I don't want to make a mistake. He said, hey, what play did I just tell you to do? And he repeated the play back to him. He said, why don't you throw the ball? He said, well, he said, we ain't paying you to do all that. I told you to throw the damn ball. So when that play is called and that ball's supposed to be there, throw it. I don't give a hell about nothing else. Throw the damn ball. Whatever happens after that, I'll take that. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take it. You just play football. I'll take the brunt of what's going on, but you play football. He said that was the best thing he ever heard from a coach, and it released him. It made him free. And he said he was able to play free football after that, and it made him not think as much, and he started playing naturally. And I feel like that is going on with Trey. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and be some all-world damn quarterback. I ain't saying that. But what I am saying is I did see some throws that, hey, the kid can make some throws. The kid got an arm. The kid can make some throws. He just needs to continue to get more reps. And you see the athleticism. Hey, if the throw ain't there, he can escape that daggone pocket, and he can. Ain't nobody mad at Lamar Jackson them when they flush that pocket and they get a 10-yard gain and they're running and they're going to the next down. You got a first down. Yeah, you didn't throw it, but guess what? The team still moved the ball, and we're still moving the ball. So at the end of the day, I like that athleticism. But once again, J.J. McCarthy's hurt. Trey Lance, go out there and throw for 450 yards in this next game against the Raiders, please. Go out there for like 4. Do a Romo game. Do a Romo game. Y'all remember? Do we not remember Romo before he got his job? Do we remember when he played the Minnesota Vikings in a preseason game? He threw for like 400 and something yards and like 3 touchdowns in that game in preseason, and everybody was like, okay, Romo's making a team, and Romo's going to be a quarterback here. Everybody said that after that game, and that nobody cared it was preseason. Everybody was looking at them damn numbers he did in that damn preseason game. We're like, okay, there we go. So Trey Lance, you know what? I think you're a good kid, but you know what? I want picks back. So go out there, turn the hell up. Turn the hell up in this game against the Raiders. Go nuts, go bananas, go crazy. And then you Minnesota Vikings, bring your asses right on over here and get to talking to Dallas and flip this pick. And as I said before, Star, I don't fall in love with these players. Me and you might have went back and forth on Trey Lance, but as soon as J.J. McCarthy got hurt, I was like, Trey Lance. So I don't love him. I don't love him.
He's a very valuable asset. I just want Trey Lance to go out there and let it loose. That's advice that I said before the last game, and that's the same thing I had this game. You throw picks, who cares? This is the preseason. We want to see you fight. We want to see you go out there and try to make some plays. Nobody wants a hesitant Harry, a scared guy who won't throw the damn ball and keeps taking sacks. It keeps running out of bounds. Like, we don't want that. So, like, please go out and make some plays so that we can potentially put you on the market, the trade block. Also, I would like for them, another way to help Trey Lance is to be more balanced, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I get it. We queued up the plays for him, but I also want to see this power run game go. You know, my guy Deuce will be playing this game. I want to see Deuce
Yeah, that's
play.
your guy. You're right.
That's my
I want to
guy.
see it too.
I want to see Deuce play. So he can't play if y'all not gonna, we want to see him run the ball. I know they're gonna have him on special teams, returning the kicks and punts. That's great, but we want to see him on offense. So let's get the running game going a little bit, Mike. You can still, if you want to showcase Trey and make him throw 30 times, okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But 41 is a bit much. Moving on with the wide receivers. I think all of them, they can only do so much they can if Trey Lance is missing them. But Racey McMath, Ryan Flournoy, those drops were unacceptable. Play better. You know what I'm saying? I expected better from, especially now, Racey McMath, I don't know. But Ryan Flournoy, I don't know what was up with him. I don't know if he was scared or had the jitters or whatever. But I was expecting him to go out there and turn up, and then you went out there and just looked bad. So better game from y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, better game. And Mike as well.
I'm gonna ask you this squad. I do feel that. I want to ask you this, Star. Should Jalen Tolbert play in this game?
No.
What?
I'm not
Why not?
He don't need to play.
What does he prove? What has he proved? Tell me what Jalen Tolbert has proved.
He proved that
in the league.
He proved that he's reliable last year. Dak went to him in big moments. He went to him in big moments in that Dolphins game. It's like, yeah, you can play him, but like, why? When you know he's wide receiver 3, he has the best chemistry with Dak. Dak has said it. It's dumb. It's like Jalen Brooks is there, it's neck and neck, but Jalen Brooks only played one snap. So that's how you know, or one drive. So that's how you know Jalen Brooks, he's making a team. Him and Jalen, I think Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks should be like 3A, 3B.
I can agree, but I still feel like y'all ain't did nothing to really show. And I ain't saying play the whole damn game. I don't need Jalen Tolbert to play the whole game. But you know what? Let's see you with the series with a Trey Lance.
I think we're gonna see less people. I don't think Tolbert will be playing. I think they might not let Brooks play. I don't think they're gonna let Rico or Zeke play.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. You need to let Brooks play.
Well, Brooks only had one drive. That
don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry, it don't, because even though these guys are making the team, these Jalen Brooks did not get no time last year on the field. None. So he needs reps. Jalen Tolbert, yes, but your whole rookie year was nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it wasn't like it's not like you had 40 catches for 500 yards your second year.
No,
you didn't.
True. That's
so
true.
Sorry, Jalen Tolbert, you got to play. I just want to see you with Trey Lance. Help the young guy. If we want to, if you want to high point Trey Lance, see, just listen to this, Star. If you want to show Trey Lance, right, have Jalen Tolbert and those guys play in that game, so it makes it easier for him to help him out, and then makes him look better for trade material.
You gotta convince me. Like, he can. I think give Tolbert and Brooks, like, give them just a quarter or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I think if you already bought into them, so I understand. Like, listen, we ain't trying to risk you getting hurt, but it's just like, let him play. Let them play a first quarter. I think they should start with Trey Lance, because I want to see Trey Lance versus the Raiders. Will be starting. They will be playing their defense. Their starting defense, and I would like to see Trey Lance versus them. So I think you start Trey Lance. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it, but yeah, I would approve of Jalen Tolbert going out there. Let him play a quarter. Let Jalen Tolbert turn up too, so that he can even get, I know he's confident, but he can even get more confidence. Because if he goes out there and blows it up with Trey Lance,
and just you feel me? If he goes out there and like that first quarter and just really destroys it, y'all going to tell me, you just said his confidence is going to be through the freaking roof. So he is going to be ready game one. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, that helps Trey Lance. And if it makes Trey Lance look better so you can trade him possibly, then let's make that happen. If it gives Tolbert even more confidence or Jalen Brooks even more confidence, then let's have it. Because to me, y'all haven't proved nothing in the NFL yet. So we still need to see what you guys can do on the NFL field. And we still want to see your game. I feel like practice, you're going against the second teams and the third teams and all that. No, you need to do the other.
I agree with that. So that's it on offense, and I would like to see them get the tight ends more involved. Because I was like, I thought we would have the tight ends hella involved, and they just weren't really targeted. They were like targeted two drives, 2 targets apiece. So I was like, I don't get that. So it is easier for them to hit the tight ends or bigger targets than to hit these wide receivers. So I would like to see that, get them more involved to kind of get some of these younger tight ends confidence up. Moving to the defense, obviously I want to see Mozzie. Mozzie is he talking bold. He's like, listen, I missed some plays last week. I'm ready to get back out there. So
do you trust Mozzie? Do you trust Mozzie? I mean, I just want to ask you this, okay, Star? Mm-hmm. I listened to his interview, right? And when I listened to his interview, I don't know what to think about that interview. Just me. I just heard a lot of, oh, I got to do this. And thank you for being there for me because I wasn't in the right place. I got to do this. You know, this is my job. I'm still wondering, like, I'm wondering about Mozzie. I'm sorry. I still do. What do you feel? How do you feel?
I trust Mozzie. I think Mozzie is just different.
You trust him?
Yeah, I think he's different. Okay. And, you know, talking to Jess Navarez today, you know, we got insight and she was like, you know, I talk to Mozzie all the time. And she was like, Mozzie is even confused because he's like, why? He's like, basically when one of the radio guys, I'm not going to say his name, but he's put out there that Mozzie was suffering from mental health issues. And Mozzie was like, he doesn't understand. He's like, I'm good, but like everybody treats me like I'm this fragile baby. Like, oh my God, Mozzie, like don't talk to him, don't do that. He's like, I don't know why people treated me like that because it's like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I think Mozzie is just different from what we expected, but I do think that he wants to get better because you can see it. You can see that he's gotten better. You can see that his relationship with Zignina has gotten stronger. And then you see today, you know, after practice, Micah is trying to help him, you know, increase his conditioning, and he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I think Mozzie wants to do everything to be the best that he possibly can. I think he got ahead of himself last year, but I think that this coaching staff, like Zim, I think that probably meant a lot for Mozzie, for Zim to come out and say, I don't care what people are saying. I like Mozzie. Mozzie is doing his job, period. And I think these coaches are just showing a lot of they're helping him with his confidence, and they're showing a lot of faith in him. And I think that's helping him. You know, I think Micah is also helping the young guys, Mozzie, Marshawn Nealon. Like, it means a lot to them that, because regardless of what people say, like, Micah is inspirational to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, they one day hope that they can make an all-pro, and Micah is out there helping them and like boosting them up. And sometimes you need that. You need guys that's like, you that N-word and you that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
One, you know, so you need that encouragement. And I think that's good. So I want to see Mozzie out there. I want to see Zim said that he's gonna keep Fehoko because he did have Fehoko playing inside, and Zim was like, that's not his position. So I want to see him on the edge a little bit more. I just want to see all of our young guys just have better, cleaner games. They had a good game, but I want to see them build our linebackers like Maris and stuff like that. Like, just continue to build off of what you guys have done and just continue to get stronger. And, you know, all these safeties flashing, continue to flash because we can trade one of you. Oh, and my guy Izzy. Izzy should be playing as well. We haven't seen Izzy, so hopefully Izzy balls out and stuff like that, and you know, fights for his time to, you know, make this roster. So, you know, ultimately, I'm just wanting this against preseason. It's not about wins. I just want to see the guys build off of what I saw last week. That's for everybody. I want to see everybody just build off. Oh, we lost big. Somebody, Rev, you said I'm sweaty. I don't know why you sweated, but yeah, we just want to see. I want to see these guys build off of what they did last week, because I just think that, you know, there you go. You know, these guys are fighting for roster positions, and you know, some of these guys are gonna make the team, some are not. Some are gonna be brought back on the practice squad, but it's only through this competition and preseason and stuff like that that we can really see what these guys are made of. Because you can be a camp hero, but what do you look like when you're actually in a game? Eric Scott, I need you to have a better game, buddy, because I really think you're on the bubble of getting cut. If he
Mm-hmm.
goes out there, because we got Andrew Booth. If you go out there and have another bad game, dog, and Andrew Booth outshines you,
Mm-hmm.
you're likely going to get cut. You don't have any sponsors here. You have no loyalty. I mean, I think Al Harris likes him, but Al Harris is not the defensive coordinator. So,
Right.
you don't have no sponsors here. So, Eric Scott, you got to have a better game, because if you don't, I really feel like you're going to be one that's going to be getting your papers.
Gone. You're going to be gone.
Yeah,
you don't got a sponsor. And when they made the trade, Nashawn Wright didn't have a sponsor anymore. DQ was his sponsor, and you see how quick his sponsorship ended. His sponsorship ended quickly. So I feel like this is the same thing with you, Eric Scott. They traded up. They're trying to showcase and give you every opportunity to play. But if you keep on still kind of doing those things, I don't know. He's a young guy, so maybe you look at it because he's got decent size. But he wasn't looking the greatest last year, even in his rookie year in preseason. People forget that he wasn't looking the greatest last year in preseason. So I just have a little bit more caution, with him. But just like you said, if he doesn't show better, I don't see how you make the squad, because they're pretty much set. When you look at the cornerback position back there, they're pretty much set where they want. And now it's like, you got one or two, maybe one person that can probably squeeze in. And if you're not playing it, I don't see where you make it, because I know they got their 5 strong right now, in my opinion, at the cornerback position.
Yeah, I mean, cornerback is very strong. And then you just got guys like Josh Butler who outshines you, dog. And Josh Butler is a practice squad player. You just can't have that. Like, you got to play better. He has to play better. If you don't play better, you're going to be out of here just like Nashawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to find a way to trade. He may be one of the guys we can trade to Dan Quinn.
Hey, take him.
Package him up. You know what I'm saying?
Take
him up. One of these safeties. Throw a pick out there and let's go get our guy. So, yeah, but I just need to see improvement from these young guys for sure. Because I mean, these guys are fighting for their lives. I feel like, because by game 3, they say like, we evaluate till game 3, but I think some of these guys, the coaches are already going to make decisions like you're
right. This like after this game, I feel like after this game, they already know. I feel like after this game, they may already know. Okay, we already know who we won, who we have, and we're gonna see. So I feel like this game is critical, especially with the Raiders playing their first team. This game is critical for those guys. Like I said, I want to see what this offense does. I want to see the Cooper Beebe. I want to see the Tyler Guyton against this first team. You get what I'm saying? Please play some Rico Dowdell this game. I know he had the first carry and it looked explosive. I know you're worried about the injury, but man, I'm sorry. I'm still not on this Zeke thing. I just feel like a lot of. And now I seen your tweet about 8 touchdowns this year, and so I could see that, but I don't see the running. I don't see it, yo. I just don't see
He's
him.
Gonna have to show you on the field.
He's gonna have to show me, because I just don't believe it. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it.
It's fine. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna play Zeke though. They're not gonna play him. They're like, he's a vet. We're not playing him. Like we got. I think Mike McCarthy got Zeke back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he shouldn't play. But I just feel like this regular season, everybody, Zeke gonna do this, because people saying, Zeke, Zeke get 1,000 yards. Well, it was a long, long time ago when I was younger, and I remember an announcer, I think it was a former football player, and they were talking about 1,000-yard rushers, and he was like, "Man, 1,000 yards ain't nothing for no running back no more. Put the games." There's 16 games a season. Divide that into 1,000. How many yards you get in a game? You know what I'm saying? And once he started breaking that down, then I started chilling out. Like, okay, everybody hyping 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards ain't nothing if you're a premier back, which he's not now. But if you're the premier backs now, 1,400 yards is a mark. 1,400 yards. If you're a premier back, that's what you need to be getting, because 1,000 yards in a 17-game season is like only like 60 yards a game. That ain't no premier runner. You get what I'm saying? That ain't no premier runner. Yeah. But I'm sorry. I want to continue to see. I still feel like we need that juice at running back. I think you would agree with me. We still need that juice. But just like Craven says, I see some juice out of Rico. So please play Rico more than Ezekiel Elliott. Don't get into this Ezekiel Elliott thing. He's wearing his 15. No. Don't do it. Play
It's gonna
Rico
be it's
and
gonna
let
be a
Zeke be
committee.
your closer.
It's definitely gonna be a committee. And shout out to this guy. He says a Jets fan, y'all got a dog in Carl Lawson. He will go off this year. I appreciate
Like it,
that.
Jets fan. Like it, Jets
Thank,
fan.
thank you, Jets fan, for rocking with
Appreciate you,
us.
Jets fan.
Appreciate that. But yeah, I think for sure this running back room, that's the one I feel like remaining question mark. Like, are y'all gonna and it's all gonna come down to
And
this is
get
a
your
big
boy in
game.
there. Get your boy
This
involved.
this is a big game for the running backs.
And Deuce
Because
Vaughn.
yeah, this is a big game for Deuce, Malik Davis, Royce Freeman. This is a big game for y'all because if the Cowboys see this and then they go and get running back, y'all know one of y'all's getting cut.
And you know they ain't happy.
Right. You know one of y'all's getting cut.
Mm-hmm.
So, it really would behoove y'all go out there and ball out so that the Cowboys don't feel like, okay, we gotta go get a guy. We gotta go get a guy before the season even kicks off. But where the Cowboys are moving, if they feel like this is not gonna cut it, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna go out and they're gonna get somebody else, and that means all of y'all are gone. I think who's on the fringe, Malik Davis. Like, dude, you've been on the practice squad 3 years.
Yeah,
It's
I
either
don't see no. I don't see
it's
it no
now
more
or
with Malik
never.
Davis.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like, it's
over in my
now or
opinion.
never. The Snoop Connors and the Nathaniel Peets. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all control your fate. But who I think is leaning toward is
Go get Dalvin Cook.
yeah, they might go get Dalvin. And if they go get Dalvin, Dalvin is a threat to somebody like Deuce because Dalvin is like a elusive, can catch out
I think he's
backfield,
a
can do a
threat
lot of
to
stuff.
like a Rico or even Ezekiel.
He may be a
Because if
threat to
you,
Rico, actually.
yeah,
But a lot of people don't think we're going to cut Rico. But I'm like, we
I don't
brought
think
him
they're
back
gonna
for
cut Rico either.
but we brought him back for $2. So it's like, it's not like if you cut
Right?
him, it's like, oh shoot, it's the end of the world.
You right?
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. I don't think Deuce is gonna get cut, guys. Like, Deuce is a story.
I don't think.
Deuce Deuce
Well,
has plot armor. Y'all ever heard of that? Where it's like he's not
yeah.
at
I
the very least, his ankle hurts. He's out for the season. At the very
Yes.
least.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that. Even though I didn't have him on the roster on my 53-man roster, because I just my thing with Deuce is this. This is my problem. I'm still frustrated. I don't hate on Deuce Vaughn. I promise, Deuce Vaughn, I do not hate on you. But I just feel like that was a running back class where you could have got somebody better and higher than the 6th round. But it is what it is. You're on the team now. It is what it is. My thing is now this. Y'all need to figure out, because we have seen offenses, we have seen play callers, we have seen them find those smaller guys, we have seen them find those type of players a niche, a role, a thing that when they come in the game, they are going to really be able to shake up the defense. They got packages for them that they're going to be able to stress the defense. That's what I want to have them with Deuce, and not just have this just like last year. Oh, we played you in a couple mop-up games. You got stopped a couple times. We ain't playing you no
Absolutely
more.
not.
I don't want that. Don't do that. If that's the case, then he don't need to be on the team.
I agree with that. This is a year. Get Deuce involved, or honestly, go ahead and cut him and allow him to go somewhere else where he can play.
Right.
I
If you
just
ain't
feel
gonna
like
use them right,
if you don't know how to use him, Mike, then just let him go. Like, this is the year. Go ahead and get him involved. Like, you gotta get him involved. And people. I think shout out to my guy DMV. He's like, well, Star. I think him and Turpin got similar roles, and I'm like, no, not really. Like, Turpin is not a guy that Deuce runs between the tackles. You don't want Turpin running between the tackles. You know what I'm saying? You want Turpin on end arounds and the outside zone toss and stuff like
Turpin is
that.
small.
Exactly. You don't
Deuce is
Deuce
least thicker. Even though Deuce is shorter, he's thicker
he's
than
thicker.
Turpin.
Exactly. So I'm like, no, you use those players differently. And Deuce, you're not gonna have Deuce going down the field on a 9 route, like a Turpin. Like, they're different players. They are both small. So I see why people say, they're similar, they're gadget players, but I'm like, they have different roles. So hopefully we can see. And another thing I noticed with Dak is getting real comfortable throwing to these small guys. It's like, people were like, Dak, he needs the X wide receiver. And I'm like, I don't know. It feels like Dak has got comfortable now Like, give me somebody short and fast, almost like
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes. They don't really have an X wide receiver. They just have short, fast guys, and it
Mm-hmm.
works out.
Mm-hmm.
It works out for Pat. You know what I'm saying? And you got your great tight end. It works out. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Rev,
Yep.
Craven,
Great chat.
Darrell, the Raiders fan, my guy David, I know was in here. Really appreciate y'all, and reminding y'all that I am doing a Stargazer sweepstakes. I am giving away a $75 Visa gift card or
Can
Madden
you post it?
25.
Can you post it?
Let me see if I can because I want to post a screenshot because the video you ain't gonna be able to
Right. Well, yeah. See if you can
look.
post that screenshot on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Oh yeah, here it goes. Let me put it on my computer, and then. Oh, you know what? I'm like, why is it doing this? Let's see if I can do it. Come on. Oh no, my
Appreciate you,
eardrop.
Craven.
Thank
Y'all
you,
having
Craven.
fire shows. Y'all got all the good. Y'all been having all the good guests on there. You feel me? Nick Harris. You feel me?
We've been
Jasmine
trying.
Perez. You feel
We've
me?
been. we've been trying to.
I've
We've
been
been trying.
seeing.
We've been trying to do the best we can. Hold on.
Brian Brothers gonna be on there next.
Yeah, we can get. We need. I want to get Clarence Hill, to be honest. But
Y'all
guys,
could
I'm gonna
get
just
him.
try
I
to
could see him.
share.
I could see him being on y'all show.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just do it like this because I can't do it. I don't know, my computer's not airdropping right now. But let me see.
Well, at least let them know about it so they know.
Yeah, so
Why you're
here it
doing it.
goes. Here's on profile.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, here's the thing. Let me just pause it right here. Okay, so can y'all see that on the screen?
I
Oh,
think
it's
it's getting
kind of
ready to
cut
come
off.
up.
It's cut
Is
off
it cut
though.
off?
Y'all can't see it. Yeah, it's because of. Can you change the orientation? Like it should
Um,
be somewhere where you can change it from the phone mode to like the computer mode. I don't know if you can do it or not. But anyways, guys, you can't see it, but just go to my Twitter. I'm gonna put my Twitter in the chat for y'all. Y'all can go to it because the video was literally pinned to the top of my Twitter. Let me put my Twitter in the
yeah.
chat for y'all. Y'all go there and y'all watch the video, and it'll give you all the instructions to enter it. But yeah, I am giving away Madden 25, college football 25, or a Visa gift card. Y'all just go to the star. Oh, also it's literally a short on my YouTube as well, Stargazer Sports.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
So,
because I seen it on your Twitter too. So go to her Twitter because I seen you posting it on your Twitter. So go to your Twitter, go to her
right.
YouTube. If you're not a
Yeah.
subscriber, get your butt over there and hit the subscribe button. So where you at on the 300?
We're at 260, so we actually got a lot, this past week. So we only need
Yeah,
about
so we
40
on
more. So yeah,
40
y'all
more,
follow me.
man. A
Y'all
40
follow me on
ounce.
Twitter. Exactly. Y'all follow me on Twitter, and the video's pinned to my profile. And all you gotta do is subscribe and just send a screenshot of your subscription to my email. So really appreciate you guys rocking with us, and of course donate to my Cash App there. You do get extra entries if you donate at least $5 to my Cash App. So
Ooh.
y'all help me out because I'm trying to get to at least 300. Hopefully I get to more than 300
You
by
are.
time
Yeah.
the season starts. By time the season starts, what I'm saying. But
We
my goal is
we
300.
got 3 weeks. We got
Exactly.
3 weeks to get to at least 300. You feel me? We got 3 weeks. So y'all, let's
Yeah.
make it happen. If you're not a subscriber right now and you've been in the show, please go over there and subscribe, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go to our Twitter. You want to get in that contest. I know y'all want some Madden 25 or College 25 because everybody been talking about Madden 25. Oh my God, this is the best Madden ever. To College 25. Oh, this is the best. This is the best ever. So you hear it in the streets.
Y'all
You
help
know
me
you want it
out.
for free. Why you want to pay that $60 holler for that? Go ahead and get that
Exactly.
free from
It's
Miss Star.
70. It's
And
$70. So
I'll
y'all
see a
y'all
$70 holler. You feel me? The
exactly.
price don't went up since I was playing Madden. Madden was $49.99 when I played.
Yeah, it's $69.99 now. So it's $70. So if you don't want to pay for it, please, you could literally get an entry for subscribing to me for free. So
yes.
it ain't that much. So go ahead and help your girl out. But anyway, thank y'all so much.
Another
Yeah,
great show. Shout out to everybody. Great show. Um, let's get ready for this game. Hopefully, we'll see what we talked about, and
yep.
we'll be back next week to hopefully talk about some good things. Another trade might be in the works. Trade lands, we don't
We
know,
never
but
know.
you know what I'm saying. CD Lamb could get signed. Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
So hopefully, we could see some of that type of news when we come back next week. But make
hopefully.
sure you're deep up in here, thick up in here, because guess what? We love the crowd today. We want to have that every time. Like I said, I'm Big Game James. Star brings them. So you know what it is. It's the Big Star Show. We'll be talking to you next week. Y'all have a lovely day, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.